for the session. So I'm sharing my screen. So hi, first we will see the first what is Android. So Android is an operating system. So it's an operating system for the different devices. Previously, it was operating system for only the mobiles, but nowadays it's for multiple devices because a lot of electronic gadgets are coming into this market. So this is operating system for different devices. And next, it is open source. So it is open source. Next, using this, we can build an apps. So it's a development environment. And the last is the Linux kernel. So this is run always on the top of the Linux kernel. So this is a simple way. It's a definition of the Android. So Android is an operating system and it's open source. Using this, we can build an apps and it's running on the top of the Linux kernel always. But how it will run on the top of the Linux kernel, that we will see in detail on once we discuss the architecture of the Android. There we can understand this line, how it could be. So now it's a operating system. So for the mobiles, tabs, TVs, watch, etc. Like cars, autos, many devices are coming. So it's this is, and how this is open source. First of all, what is the meaning of the open source? Open source means it's a freely available. We can utilize that with free of cost. So here there are a total 3 cases are there. The first case, if I'm coming as a developer. So development environment, dev environment is free. So easily we can download the development environment and we can start development, and also we can get the lot of support from the community site. So that is a developer.android.com is the official website. So from here we can get the majority of the support from. So that is developer.android.com. So from here we will get the lot of support from here. So we can easily develop the apps. So the next, if is in case if we are a manufacturer, so we can customize operating system. Say for example, today I buy one iPhone, phone with Android version 12 with in Samsung. Same, you also buy same hardware, same operating system version, but you buy it in a Vivo. So both phones, hardware side and operating system side, everything version, configuration, everything same, but looks different because every manufacturer customize as per their requirement. So that is a customized operating system. The next, in case of end user, so end user we will get many apps as free. Maximum 99% apps we are getting as a free apps for end user. So this is in a 3 ways. This should be this open source. So open source is nothing but here it's a different cases. One is the for the developer, it's a development environment fee, and manufacturer it's a customized OS, and end users many applications getting free. And even here development environment also, just we said that just you can download the development environment with free of cost and you can start the development. And this word, just as of now, just you can remember it's running on the top of the Linux kernel. So, but this word we'll discuss in detail later. So And the next step here is, so the current latest version of Android is the 13. So we will start with the Android 13. Then we can go with the in detail of the day by day in detail we'll go with, means in case before that Android 14 is introduced, because already that is going on. In case in between the 14 is introduced, in the 14 there is some extra kind of development in between of these days. We will able to see that also, we will cover in this. Okay, so total it's around 50 hours of course. So in this 50 hours of course, we will cover all the topics as equals to real-time environment things. So here each and every program we will create in a class and we will discuss in detail of code. So then after that, so next after that after that, every day I'll give you the tasks. So you must and should practice these tasks. Then only, as you asked, you can eligible for the exam. You can eligible for the 3 years of experience. So definitely, I'll give around 100 to 150 times. So those tasks, so that easily you can manage that experience. So
certification, Android certification on the
Android certification ఉంది, but అది డిఫరెంట్ ఏంటంటే 45 days చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది కంటిన్యూషన్. గూగుల్ 45 days మనం చేస్తా ఉంటే అది ఇస్తారు. 45 days వాళ్ళు రెగ్యులర్ టాస్క్ చేయాలి, చేస్తే అప్పుడు వాళ్ళు ఇస్తారు అది.
ఓకే.
So one more thing here next, this we can do in 2 languages. One is Java, other is Kotlin. So I hope you are preferring the Kotlin, right?
Yes.
So
which is best, Java or Kotlin?
Yeah, that see, nowadays few companies are using the Kotlin. Previously who started with Java, still they are continuing with the Java.
Okay.
But that means my suggestion is here to two is okay, but what is the advantage here, I'll tell you. If you start with the Java, okay, so then later easily there is a one conversion tool is there from Java to Kotlin. Okay, while you are practicing, just after once that Java code has done, so then I'll show you for 2 or 3 programs how to convert from Java to Kotlin. So while practicing, you can practice both. When you start something in a Kotlin code, then I'll help you there, so that you will ready with the 2 technologies. So whatever, because if you go with a specific Kotlin into market, there is a less opportunities. Only if you go with the Java, again there is a less. If you know the both, that advantage for you also. That is the best option, right? That is okay, Krishna.
Okay.
So that way means yeah, both are same. So the small syntax variance should be there, so that I'll show you how it will be, and so that it can be easily help for that. Okay, so this is the, and after that here in our Android there are many versions are there. So we as a developer we used to know the version wise features, so that because some of the feature which is not working in some version, so that we need to understand why this specific feature is not working in a specific version, so that we need to know. So because of that we will see the first versions here. So the version is first Cupcake, Donut, Eclair, Froyo, gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream sandwich, ice cream sandwich, jelly beans, Kit Kat, lollipop, marshmallow, Nougat, Oreo. So next P, Q, R. So these all are the different versions as of now, which is released. So in this, first we need to concentrate on each version features, because just as I told, just any feature which is not supporting this version, we may understand that. But I hope right now up to this could not be considerable, because almost every device has coming with these versions. So these version features is very important. But anyhow, this all features we will go through once. So how that features will come one by one, we'll go through just here to see. So here the first, which is Cupcake. So this version as released in 2009. So here we have the features are like on-screen keyboard. So right now we are getting a on-screen keyboard in every version, but those days that is a one on-screen. Then next is the auto rotation option. So like landscape to portrait, that auto rotation, and it can support the portrait as well as the landscape. And copy paste option only in browser those days. So now we have everywhere, but that days only in a browser. And after that, so widgets are introduced, like only few widgets. Nowadays we have lot many, but only few widgets, that is analog clock, calendar, music player, and such. Only these all are introduced on those days. And after that, in the same year, after 6 months, one more version has released, that is a donut. So donut has features as quick search. So next is the VPN, virtual private cloud network setup. Means using this we can build the dynamic applications also. This is the only static application it can support, but here it is support for the dynamic application. And after that, voice search. So voice search, like right now what we are using the voice search command, so that is help from that is introduced here. And the battery indicator, like how much the battery percentage is there, so that it indicates here this. And the faster booting, like once you restart the phone, it is a very faster compared to the previous. And the Google Play Store has introduced in this version. And gesture animation, like mobile moving, like when my mobile is ringing, if just I tap my mobile, automatically volume will reduce. So that kind of animation, like moving gesture means it's a moving. So like moving when we are playing any game, if I playing any car or bike game, if I just swipe left, swipe right, automatically that vehicle movement will change, right? So that kind of things as introduced, means that kind of animations are introduced here. This is the gesture animation. Then after in the same year, after 1 month, so the next version it is released, that is Eclair, 2009 October itself. So here the features are like it's support the Bluetooth, and the typing speed is increased, and dictionary option enabled. So while typing, the dictionary option enabled. And the next is the calendar events, like where you can add the calendar events. So like reminders kind of thing. So that is introduced here. And zoom in and zoom out in a browser. So as of now, there is no zoom in, zoom out in a browser. Zoom in and zoom out is introduced. And here after that, they got one drawback. So that is, it is not supporting for the Adobe. Adobe means like a video PDF viewer or Adobe Flash. So those it is not supporting. So then after that, after 4 or 5 months, again one more new version is released. So that is Proyo. So in May 2010, in this version, so it supports the first, what is the drawback as came. So that is resolved. So it is supports the Adobe and the day and night mode as introduced here, and the device policy, passwords and security. Like we can save this device passwords and securities, extra securities as introduced. Means while saving that, that could be in an encrypted format of that mobile, even though if you cannot see the password kind of thing. So that is introduced. Next, this is for advantage for the developers. So that is a crash analytics feature as introduced. Suppose my application is in a Play Store, but unfortunately that is crashed. So that is crashed means as a developer we cannot know, because once it is in a Play Store, we don't know the exact information who install your application. So that time we will get the use problem. So that is a crash has introduced. So once it is crashed in any specific device, so as a developer we will get an email, so and so Samsung mobile, so and so version, it is crashed because of the reason. So we will get that. From there we will resolve that. And after that, there is a hotspot feature. So like mobile data sharing, that feature has introduced. Next is the better browser experience. So compared to the previous thing, the browser has speed and browser experience has introduced. So these all are the advantages in this version. After that, again, we got one issue, that is no internet calling. So this is the drawback. It means on those days, maximum the people are using the Skype, but it is not supporting with that. So that is a disadvantage here. Then after here, one more, it is next version is released after around 7 months. So that is a gingerbread. So in this version, so that internet calling, it supports the internet calling. And as of now, they concentrated only on the features, but from this version onwards, they started on some part of UI updates also. So here UI updated with high efficiency and copy paste option everywhere. Previously, it is only on a browser. Now everywhere we can use. And after that, support third-party keyboards. We can install the third-party keyboards as well. And the next is the 3D motion sensor. It can support for the 3D motion sensors, data encryption and the decryption from here. So as a user, if you want to do some kind of data, send data, or if you want to save the data, so we can do with the data encryption and decryption here. And after that, not support for the multiple processes. So it will not support for the multiple process, not process. So this is the drawback here. So not supporting for the multiple processor, because multi-core processor, because here as of now, this Android has releasing many versions, but manufacturers are not came into this because of they are using the stable versions of, even though if those what they are using, that is not an operating system, it is on a basic only, but they are not coming into this environment because of the not as stable. So but once these all other features are introduced, so one manufacturer came to this, then they got this multi-core processor, because as of now, from 2009 first version onwards, this all the R&D has done on the HTC device. So after that, one manufacturer came, they got this issue, multi-core processor. Anyhow, that issue is resolved in the next 2 months. in a two version of Honeycomb. So here it is 2011. It supports the multi-core processor, but it is only for the tablets. Because of the tablets, this issue has resolved, because nowadays mobiles and tablets hardware configuration wise almost same, but those days it's a completely the different, because tablets has more hardware configuration those days. So because of the more hardware configuration, it is working. Then they said that if you want to come with an Android, so you must and should come with this minimum of this specification. So they announced like that. So that version is released, but that is released in next version, ice cream sandwich. That issue has resolved, but here it's a tablet, support the tablets, but only the specific this. And action bar means in our phone there is a top bar that is once we'll enter into the code, you can understand that. So that action bar as introduced here. And the next is the live streaming. It support for the live streaming, like nowadays we are seeing, we are able to see the TVs and all, right? So that is supporting here. And after that there is a next version in a 2011 November, ice cream sandwich. So this support for the multi-core processor in tabs as well as the mobiles also. And in this home screen folder, like we can create a favorite folder, and that my all favorite apps I can move, right? So that feature as introduced here in this. And the next here it is a virtual button. So virtual button on UI, whatever the buttons right now we are using virtual buttons. So that is introduced in this version. And the swipe to clear notification, just a right swipe, left swipe. So that kind of swipe, that notification clearance as introduced in this version. And the next it is the screenshot share. So once we took the screenshot, so you can able to share the screenshot. And also network sharing. Via network sharing also you can use this, we can share the data or any other things we need to share, that is introduced in this version. And the next version which is here, that is jelly beans. So this jelly beans is also introduced after the, so after this is November, right? This is June 2012, means around after 7 months this is introduced. So in this the feature is autocomplete text. Like once we are searching now in a Google, automatically the hints will come, right? So that kind of feature as introduced, so that we can say as autocomplete text. While typing that, automatically it will give the input. So that is introduced. The next is the smoother UI. So smoother UI as updated. And next is the multi-language. It supports a multi-language. The next is the location accuracy. So there is a problem with the previous version in a location. So that location accuracy as done in this version. So only these are the features in this version. The next version, which is KitKat. So this KitKat as introduced in September 2013. After 1 year, this is introduced. So here the main features are battery management. Like it will give the low battery kind of alerts kind of thing, it will give that. So that is a battery management. Battery management. The next battery management. So the first feature here is this is the battery management. Next is the OK Google. OK Google feature as introduced here. Like right now we are using voice command, that is introduced. And cloud storage. means from the backups and everything, you can make it as a cloud. So that is introduced. Next is a cloud printer. We can connect a cloud printer via network. So that is introduced. And multitasking. So how this multitasking? Multitasking like response faster, touch more accurate. So that can be easily. So this as introduced here. This. And the next is the lollipop. So here is the major change happens in this version. So that this whatever the features as of now we discussed, maybe those we can skip also, no problem. But from here it is a very, very important. So this is released in October 2014. But from here this will go because the completely architecture has changed. As of now, it is a 32-bit. Now this from here, it's a 64-bit architecture. So the completely architecture has changed because the next from here, they are planning this for the different resolution of devices. As of now, it is supporting only for the tabs as well as the mobiles. But now from here, it can be support for the multiple. So because of that reason, the completely architecture has changed here. So from this version onwards, it can support for the TV. Watch means very high resolution and very small resolution also it can support from this version onwards. And also more securities has introduced like runtime permissions. Nowadays, once we install the apps, it is asking that location permission and contacts permission, message permission like that. So that kind of feature as introduced from this version onwards. And settings, you can create your own roles. Settings means settings you can create your own roles. Like you can give the whatever the permission you want, you can give, you cannot give. So setting you can create what you want. Like that kind of feature as introduced here in this. So the next it is so that's all. Only the architecture has changed, right? Because based on architecture, only these two features are introduced here in this version. And the next is the marshmallow. So the marshmallow, it is introduced in 2015. So means approximately every year there is one version as releasing. So this is in May 2015. This in this version also there is no major updates based on the 64-bit architecture. Only they worked on this. So what are the features and drawbacks which is coming previously? Those only they resolved. So first is the design updates. Design updates as per the 64-bit architecture. Next is the OK Google. OK Google feature updated as per this. And one new feature introduced, that is a file explorer. As of now, there is no file explorer. So that file explorer as introduced, like file manager. So previously there is no file manager. Right now they introduced the file manager here. So the next is the battery indicator status. This is already previous version it is. So that has introduced here, battery indicator, that feature has introduced here this. So next is the security permissions. Just now I told in the previous year it is introduced the more security. So on that only they worked on extra security permissions so that the user can give whenever he wants to give. Previously, once user accepted, it should be there. But right now, if you want to accept and whenever you want to ignore that permission also, you can ignore that. So that is in a marshmallow. So the next version, which is that is a Nougat. So this is in 2016 June 2016. This as introduced. So in this also almost it is the same features. First is the battery. Again, there is a small issues on a battery in the previous versions. So battery indicator, the work done. The first one is the battery indicator. After that, better notification control. Like now, if we can see the notification, once I received the two notifications from two different people, it says that two notifications and two different people, two people. But now, once I sit down, it says that first message from Krishna, second message from XYZ, like that will show. That is the latest update. But in this version, previously, if it is in up to 6 version, it shows that simply only the 5 messages. But now it shows that 2 messages from 2 contacts. Like that, it will show in a 7 version. Next is the data saver mode on. So when your mobile is stable, automatically it goes to the data saver mode. And quick settings, like once we tap the notification thing, right, from there we have the quick settings option. So there we can add more options to quick setting, and if you want a less. And the next is the copy paste. So copy paste that selection. So where previously either you can select the complete or you can select the completely complete. You can select the complete. But now in a paragraph, if I want to select only 1 line or 2 line, that also you can change that. And next is the display size adjustment, because this from Lollipop onwards, it can be support for high as well as the low resolution. So that is a display related issues as fixed. Display related issues as fixed in this version. And user can create the app shortcuts in home page, app shortcuts, home page in a home main page. We can create the shortcut. And again, enhancement for the file explorer. So that is in a marshmallow that is introduced. So here file explorer enhancement has happened here. So means some extra features. And next is the mono jack. So if we use the single Bluetooth also, it can support for the proper audio. So that is completely the hardware side. So that is worked. And the next last, this is a emergency info. Like when you are in a danger, so there is a setting, there is option. So where you can select the some contact numbers. So with voice command, I mean emergency kind of thing, just you can with voice command automatically with latlang, that particular message will goes to the specific users. So that is introduced. And anything missed? Sorry, one more thing is here. Night mode also introduced. Nowadays we have the default night mode and day mode. So that night mode has introduced in this version. Also, in case if you are using the tabs, so if you connect the physical keyboards, so in case if you connect the physical keyboard, you can connect the physical keyboard to your specific device. So once you connect the physical keyboard, so you can use the shortcuts whatever we are using in our laptop. So that also introduced here in this version. So hope it is clear these features. So from next version onwards, each has the more than 10 features. So in next session, we will see the next version features. So in 1 or 2 sessions, we will clear those. And you have installation with you, Android installation has completed, or you want to clear that?
No, I already installed Android Studio.
Okay, then it is fine. So we can skip that also. So next after 1 or 2 sessions, we'll enter into the programmatic. Okay, so first today whatever I'll do is I'll share the whatever points we discussed. These points I'll share you, and then after I'll share the course content what we are going to discuss. So by Monday or Tuesday we can enter into the programmatic session.
Okay.